Hey, personal financial planning students, it is August 5th and I'm about to make this video to explain the final exam in this course. Um, let's make it teeny tiny, just kidding. Okay, well there's a lot of questions about the final exam because it's an unusual style, but here is what it is. What it is offering a significant course improvement idea. You can do this at any time. Anytime you have a great idea for improving this course, send it to me. You can email it to me. You can post it in a discussion. You can post it as a reply to announcements. Anywhere it comes to my attention is fine. Emailing is probably better than texting because texting goes by so fast, right? And I want to keep your idea because a lot of these ideas become things that I do in future semesters. So I want to keep that going. Okay, so as I said, when? Anytime. The entire course is on, well, almost the entire course is online already. I'm tweaking it and then I'll publish it as I tweak it. So chapter 1, quiz 1 is already online. August 5th, I made the course available already. The first quiz isn't due until August 27th, so I'm in good time. But there's no reason not to start early, right? The danger in this course is not starting early enough. If you try to just keep with the deadlines, then life will happen and you'll miss a couple quizzes and it'll lower the score in the course you otherwise could have gotten. And that's sad. And then you'll email me and say, hey, the internet was down, it's not my fault. And I'll be like, oh, that sucks. Too bad you weren't ahead of schedule on quizzes. What can I do? So just know that in advance. Why? Because I want you to keep this course is incredibly a lot of it's dry, a lot of it's boring, but it's incredibly practical. These are life skills. These are things you want to know. You need to not only the entire time you're learning this course, you need not only read all the stuff, it's reading intensive, watch all the videos, etc. But you also need to be thinking, are there any questions I have that aren't being answered by this section? You know, when we're going through insurance or investing or budgeting, are there any questions I have that I don't know the answer? And I went through the whole chapter and I still don't know the answer. Boom, that's a great course improvement idea, is send me that. But that's also could be your final exam, to say, hey, you didn't answer this detail that's practical and I need to know. So I went and looked it up online and here's the best presentation of the answer, be it an article or a video, whatever. I think you should put this in the course. And I'll be like, great, you're right, I should. So that's your final exam. Congratulations, you're done. That's plus 3% to your course grade, as opposed to not doing one, having a negative 1% to your course grade. The other thing I want to mention is the ways to do the final exam. So, adding an article. You just send me the link and tell me explicitly, do some little work. This is your final exam, do some work. Show me exactly why this article deserves to be added and whether some other article needs to come out, right? I don't want the course to just get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So it's getting to the point where it's pretty intensive, as you'll see. So if you're adding an article, you probably need to take one out. So then make that argument to me, and if I agree with you, boom, done with the final exam. Of course, same thing for video. We have a lot of YouTube videos in this course. There are more being produced daily. The internet loves talking about money. I want to keep improving the course, so if you find an improvement on a video or one that's just so good and unique it needs to be added with nothing removed, whatever, again, present it to me, email it to me or whatever, make the argument, and if I agree with you, you're good. I'm going to try something else. Yeah, I know. This came from my daughter who's in high school. Adding a meme. If you have, because I'd like to make the intros to the chapters, you know, have a little bit of fun, right, for the topic. So if there's some meme that you find is very entertaining and you think that the course in general would for some chapter, fine. You can send that to me. That could be your final exam. Not a problem. Con, things that do not work. And I've gone through this a lot, thinking about this last 2 semesters of having this style of final exam, which has generally gone well. But there are some things I've figured out that just don't work. Um, e.g. is Latin for example. Don't know why. Ergo something. I don't know. Um, there are some neat games out there that you can make, um, like for Jeopardy. And I've had a lot of students for their final exam say, hey, it's kind of lonely doing this course. If we all got together and had a tournament for Jeopardy or something, that'd be much more fun. Well, I've got up to 120 students in this course at a time. A Jeopardy tournament would take a year or two. We don't have that kind of time. Um, so that generally doesn't work. Someone else said, oh, this would be so much easier if we had PowerPoint intros to each chapter. And I tried that last semester, and I got a bunch of good PowerPoint intros to each chapter, and they were basically distilled and were redundant to what was already in the chapter, and the quiz questions come from the stuff in the chapter, not from the PowerPoints. It just ended up being, in my opinion, kind of a waste of time. Students who wanted to look at the PowerPoint submitted did, but then they got the same exact stuff by going through the chapter. It didn't help them. It wasn't a shortcut or anything, so it really didn't help. So I don't want to waste your time. I want to be as efficient as possible with your time. So we're not going to do PowerPoint intros anymore. Same thing for outlines. I don't know that outlines would help. But speaking of outlines, one thing you could do as a pro, if you think the stuff within a chapter could be put in a better order or could be tied together better and be a smoother story than what it currently is, that'd be a weird final exam. No one's ever done that. But if you have that kind of ability and thought, fine. I mean, I am totally willing to just rearrange what's already in a chapter. If it fits better and you convince me that it does, I'll count that as your final exam. That improves the course. That's awesome. Con, games, PowerPoints, outlines, team, challenges, events, assignments. And here's why. This course is kind of lonely, right? It's 100% online. I'm here, but you don't get to hear each other a lot unless you start using the discussion board. But so is your control of money. That's a very lonely enterprise. Generally, when people try to get other people to help them and like share information on how they're controlling money and doing with money, often doesn't go well because the average person is bad with money. So there's a kind of a point to this being a lonely enterprise. And the practical side is, with 100 and something students, we don't have time for group events, and we're all online. Someone taking this course could be 100% online because they're never going to, enter the state of North Carolina. And I'm not going to assume everyone has Zoom and they want to do group projects through Zoom. It really is something that I think is the best as a solo enterprise. And what if I had a married couple taking this course, right? I've had married couples take my classes before. I still would want each of the two people in the marriage to know this stuff individually, so then they can come together and then they can decide things together. But I still don't think they should take the course together. So I don't know of any kind of team thing that really works for the final exam. My mind's open. If you come and convince me otherwise, great. More power to you. But generally, I think that's not going to work. So, any questions about the final exam? Let me know. Can you do the final exam today, August 5th, and the course hasn't even started yet? Yeah, you can. If you go to the course material and you have an improvement and it's significant and you argue it and I agree with you, boom, you're done with the final exam and the course hasn't even started. You get plus 3% to your course grade and it's not even the first day yet. That'd be awesome, right? So that's all I really wanted to get at. Where do I go to my thing? Oh yeah, here it is. I haven't done this in a little while. So, any questions about the final, let me know. Generally speaking, if you'd like a reply from me about something, generally speaking, texting is better. Yeah, my cell phone number's on the syllabus. It's the same forever. It's also the same for the future, right? We're all Rams. So I don't care if it's 20 years from now and you have some finance question about early retirement or something, feel free to reach out to me. I'll probably have the same cell phone number, right? So feel free to text me. As long as I'm working for the state, my obligation is to anyone that I ever crossed paths with while I was working. So even if 20 years from now I'm retired, and let's hope so, no problem. I'll be happy to answer any questions. All right. Thank you. Take care. Good luck in the course. Bye.